Hello everyone, I am back. This is going to be an update for July. I'm going to start over here in this tank because I'm going to do a little bit of a rotation so you can see. It's just the way I've worked it so you can see the tanks better. If I do this one first and I can turn the light off, then you can see this without glare. So let's get right into it, I think. This was formerly my cold tank and it's now meant to be my cherry shrimp farm. There is actually a lot of cherry shrimp in here. That's not quite at the farm status yet. What have we changed in this tank? I've raised the light slightly a little bit. It seems to be have better plant growth at this height. I'll just plug this in just so you can see it for a second. I've also added some holes along here because I was having a little bit of a slight problem with there not being enough water agitation. Now I could have added an air stone, but I didn't have an extra air pump handy at the time, so I thought, why don't I just drill a couple of holes along here like this. This is actually what I intended. If you go back to my original video where I was going to do this at the start, I did say I was going to drill holes along here, but I never got around to it. So this adds some nice agitation to the water. It gets rid of this, like, sometimes if you feed shrimp and fish you get a little bit of an oily residue in the water. This completely gets rid of it. This helps oxygenate the tank as well. So that is that. I'll turn it back off again. Shrimp wise in here, as I said, I have lots and lots of cherry shrimp. It is really hard for me to get pictures for you on here just because of this light. But there is a mana shrimp, cherry shrimp, there's a big mana shrimp right there, dead center of the screen. The TDS is staying steady on this. If you would have watched my previous videos where I said I was going to do a cherry shrimp farm, but I had to increase the GH, well, it has generally increased the GH. When I'm adding water to this now, generally the GH is staying higher in this tank than all the other ones, which is great for this. Pothos are getting there. They all look pretty healthy now. There's only one at the very end that's a little bit struggling. I don't know if that's just a lack of light thing or what. So we shall see. They're doing their job. This tank in general with this filter on top is super clean. Let's see. I mean, I would probably drink this water. I'm not going to. With it boiling I wouldn't drink it, but you get the idea. That's how clean it is. You see it? It's very clean. So I'm going to switch the light off in this one and jump into the next tank. Like so. Let's see. What will it be? I'll let you guys choose. Will it be this one? Or will it be these ones? You choose. This one or this one? I think I'll go with these ones. Just so you can see this one at the end without no light from here, because I'm going to turn the light off for this as well so it shows this at its best. So I'm going to start at the bottom. By the way, it's very good to be back. I know I've probably said it before, but it's very good to be back. Here we go. I showed you a little bit of this tank yesterday. And it has basically millions of shrimp in here now, and a lot of them are Taiwan bees. The ones in the centre there just now are wine reds. There's a couple of wine reds. I've actually also started to get a few blue bolts out of this tank as well. By blue bolts I mean, I don't mean the ones I have in my other tank where they're the Missouri type. I mean proper blue bolts where they're like crystal white shrimp, not a crystal white, like a golden shrimp, but it has a blue hue to the head. Everybody knows what a blue bolt is. If you don't, Google it. I may be able to show you in a minute actually. So but anyway, this tank hasn't changed an awful lot, apart from the millions of babies that are in here now. I'm going to try and get a little bit closer picture for you just so you can see. Pardon me use my finger there. See what I mean with the babies in the bottom? Come on, focus, you mother. You get the idea here. This spinach is homegrown organic spinach that I grow myself. If you want to see a video of me showing you more about this spinach, say so in the comments below. But this tank's doing fantastic. You can see the amount of babies on the floor here. Jump on to the next one. As I said yesterday, this was my problem tank, but it's not anymore. There's lots of shrimp in here. Somehow there's a red one gotten in here. I don't think it was born in here, it's probably I misplaced it. There's a few babies in here, but not as much as the other tank. And I'm not sure if I explained this to you, but I think a lot of the problems when you have the odd problem tank as this is it could be from something like one shrimp dies and it causes a tiny ammonia spike and it affects all the rest of the shrimp. Now if you keep on feeding the shrimp, that ammonia spike continues and then you lose another shrimp. And if you don't take that shrimp out, then you get another tiny ammonia spike and then you lose more shrimp. If anybody ever comes across this problem, because I have had it before, but this is the first time I've actually properly remedied it, is what you do is you have to watch carefully what you feed them. If they're dying and you don't know why, don't keep on putting food in the tank without watching them eat it. If you put food in the tank and they don't all instantly jump on it like this, don't put food in the tank at all. You wait until they're hungry. And that is what fixed it for me. A little bit back out here for you to look. So this tank has changed one thing actually. The filter in the back I changed. Remember the one where I did the video where I said I made a filter that made a great shrimp trap? Well, this is a modified version of that where it's all just gravel. I've also added this, I don't know what you called it. It's like an embroidery mesh net thing. It's made from plastic and it's covered in algae, and that's the reason I put it in there. This side has the same, but this one is much greener. Lots of food for the shrimp. This tank is still in its infancy stages. I haven't actually checked this today, so I should have checked it before I put this on camera because it could be dead shrimp. But there's I'm sorry if this is out of focus, but it's almost impossible for me to focus in this tank for some reason. Nothing at all has changed in here. There's a few shrimp in the corner, blah blah blah. These are my crystal reds that you've probably seen 1 billion times in previous videos. They absolutely love this home-grown spinach. This is a giant variation of a spinach. If anybody wants to know what it is, I can probably ask my wife and she'll be able to tell me the variation. As I said, home-grown, organically grown. The only fertilizer I think it's ever had is the odd broken, crumbled eggshells, added calcium, and that's it actually. The rest of the tank looks pretty much the same. Someone did ask me about lighting before. I told them I prefer T8s over LEDs for one simple reason, and that is because you get much better algae growth with T8s. I don't know if it's because the light frequency might be a little bit lower. These are 6K lights, as to where these ones are, I think they're 7K, 8K lights, but you can see the difference. LEDs are great for looking at shrimp in general, like this spotlight is great for looking at that spot. It's great for looking at that spot. And then you come up here and in general the tank is darker, it's duller near the bottom, but there's way more algae everywhere. So there's not really much to say about this tank apart from they're still breeding like mad. This oxidator is, let me think about this, is it 2 months old since I made a video with this oxidator, and it's still producing oxygen bubbles off that same bubble, off that same solution of H2O that I put in here before. So it works still. Onto my Taiwan bee colony. Now I fed these guys yesterday, so there's a reason they're not like overly actively jumping all over the spinach. Even though they do love it all the same, they're not overly actively jumping on it. I've removed probably 90% of the crystal blacks that were in here. So most of the ones you see in here are actually all Taiwan bees. Taiwan bees here, there and everywhere. I still have the odd female in here, big female. I have, if I can focus on these you'll be able to see them. Lots of little shadow pandas. On here there's baby King Kong. More pandas. There's some more over here as well. More pandas, more pandas. I have a lot of pandas this time. Nice ruby red right in the center and a panda above it. The shrimp all along the back. There's a nice Missouri blue boat right at the back there. All over here there's little baby shrimp on the back as well. So this tank is doing great. I have done nothing to this tank at all apart from the usual take out the shrimp I don't want to be in there. That is doing great. Another wee panda here. So they're doing fantastic. I think the last time I showed you a video in here there was probably 30 Taiwan bees at the most. Now there's probably close to 100 including the babies, which is very good for me. Alright, onto the teenage tank. What's happening in here? The only thing I've noticed that's changed a lot in here is the pothos has died off a little bit. So I don't know if that's a lack of nutrients or what. It's completely died off in this corner. The oxidator in this one also is still producing a lot of bubbles. You can see all the bubbles rising up there. So that's still pretty good. Again, they are in love with this organic spinach, and you can see why. I did notice a couple of Taiwan bees in here yesterday. If I can find one, I'll let you see it. Of course I'm not going to be able to find it. Well, here's one here. Hiding under that leaf. There's one there. Yeah, so these are all doing fantastic. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask me some questions in the comment section below. This isn't the end of the video, by the way. I'm just asking in general if you have any questions regarding shrimp. Banana leaves in the middle here. Oh, by the way, by far the best leaf I've come across. The apple ones are great for just to have if you don't have anything else. The ones I have, these ones are the homegrown Indian almond leaves. The shrimp absolutely love them. I don't know if it's because when the water, you know, when it starts to degrade the leaf, it is easier for them to eat or whatever, or if there is more biofilm and nutrients, macro, you know what I'm saying, macronutrients and like stuff like fungi growing on the leaf with the Indian almonds compared to the other ones. I don't know, but they seem to enjoy devouring the almond leaves a little bit more. So this tank's doing great. I'm going to briefly touch on my water changes, just so you know 100% what as I do now, without you having to ask me. So basically this is my setup. 25 litres of RO water, TDS mixed up and made two with salty bee shrimp. This is the 1 kilo bucket. I just went, it cost me about £50 for this container, but it's worth it. This will last me more than a year. So back to this, I set the TDS to 140 on here, and I let it sit for a couple of days. Also, by the way, I've added, this is an extra one, is This is Flourish Trace. I wanted to give the plants and the shrimp a little bit more nutrients, macro elements, macro minerals, whatever you can think of that might be in Flourish Trace. I wanted to put a little bit more back into the water, because when you use pure RO water, it strips the water of nearly all of its elements. So put a little bit back in. That could be, by the way, a reason why my tanks are all now thriving. I'm not going to be like lie and say I don't have shrimp deaths anymore, because I still do. I have the odd one, maybe once a week or something. But considering how many shrimp I have now in all these tanks, one death every so often could be. It probably is like a natural death, just like in humans. You take 1,000 humans out of the population, put them in a warehouse for a month, one or two of them will have a heart attack. So it's the same kind of thing with all animals. Back on topic. So I change this automatically twice every single week. So for me, that is 25 litres, and in total I have, it must be 550, 560 litres of water. That works out for me to be between 3 and 5% per water change, which over a month would be, I don't know, 3%. Let me think about this. 5% a week. Yeah, it's still the same actually. So that's how I do my water changes. 5%, between 3 and 5% every week. Sorry if I'm muddling my words. I'm a little bit not nervous, but it's just a little bit weird for me getting back to doing this. You know, like speaking properly without saying mistakes and stuff. So it is what it is. I'll get back to my usual self soon enough. Now I'm going to turn the lights off on this tank so you can see this one better without any glare. If I can, there you go. Alright, this tank is I would say still pretty stunning. One of the things I really like about this tank right now is the sunset high grow is just starting to go pinkish in the top. This happens when it reaches more light at the top, it gets a little bit more pink. So I think it looks really, really nice in there. Anything I think the tank could do with a little bit more overall light, because I think a lot of it's just concentrated on this rock, which is turning pretty green. Another thing I've noticed with this tank is I don't have to really feed the shrimp so much in here. I mean, as I said before in a previous video, I think I put 40 very, very small trailer shrimp in here, and I haven't seen any deaths, and there's still, if I can focus in on some of this, you might be able to see them. There is babies all over this rock, all over the front, but they're very, very hard to see. Right here you see them, up here. So the whole rock is covered basically in shrimp, and I'm not having to feed them as much as I thought I would have. Now I put a little bit of food in here just for the video, and they're not all on it, which for me is a little bit strange. They're mostly all still on this rock. So that was a very, very big, nice buried female there. So I don't have to feed this tank as much as I thought it was going to. But it's looking very good. I'll just pan it so you can see it from a different angle. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway guys, this is going to be the end of the video. If you have any questions at all regarding my setup or how I feed my shrimp, whatever it is that you want to ask, please feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Okay? Thank you so much for being patient with me regarding my channel and going offline for more than a month. And thank you to all the people for all the subscriptions. It's really, really appreciated. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.